Hey guys, my name's Sam and welcome back to Prep Medic. In this week's video, I'm going to be giving you a full walkthrough of all the gear, equipment, and weapon systems that I use as a SWAT paramedic. All right, so I want to try to do this as systematic as possible. I'm going to start with what I'm wearing for callouts, so what my outerwear is, and then I'm going to move into what my gear is, so my vest, my belt, gas mask, things like that. And then I want to move into weapon systems, and then finally onto my medical kit. Okay, so it is winter in Iowa, which means it's very cold outside. It's a challenge to stay warm on callouts as well as in training. So I've switched over to my winter kit. Now, both of these garments are from UF Pro, which is a high-end tactical clothing company. I really like them. This is the Ace Winter Combat shirt, and this is one of my favorite pieces of gear I have right now, actually. This is just a very insulated combat shirt. It's got a bunch of features on it to keep you warm. The sleeves are very heavily insulated. The core is a little bit less so because it's made to be worn with armor, although it does have thick pads in the shoulder and the back to keep that armor off you and get a layer of warmth between you and the outside air. Lots of pockets everywhere and an offset zipper so you can layer under it. I've really had no issues with this and I really like it. I've also noticed that if you go into like a briefing beforehand, it doesn't get too hot and still breathes pretty well. And it's got a lot of vents too if you are getting too hot or you're like inside for a long period of time on a winter call out. This is going to be a great piece of kit for you. Now the pants I'm using are also from UF Pro, although they are not winter rated. These are actually the P40 all-terrain pants, and these just have a lot of stretchy material around the butt and some other areas. They've got room for knee pads if you want, and then zippers and pockets everywhere. I usually layer these with some Under Armour pants, and they keep me pretty warm. But I would highly recommend both these garments. Now the one nice thing is, and I have it more for training, is I have the jacket version of the Ace Combat shirt. And this is just the same shirt, except it's got a zipper all the way down. And I use this more for training because I'm not wearing armor as much. So I can just take this off, layer down, layer up, whatever I need pretty quickly. All right, moving on to my actual gear. This is my battle belt, and I do have a video of this I did when I first started YouTube, but a couple things have changed since then, so this is kind of an update to that. At its base, this is the Hsgi Cobra buckle belt. It is a rigger's belt, so it's got a D-ring here that you could rappel with this, although I don't really do that at all. I've just chose this for the inner belt because it's pretty robust. The battle belt itself is actually the Hsgi Slim Grip, so it's got 2 rows of MOLLE webbing there. I've had this since I started on ERT and I've loved it. It's worked really, really well for me. You know, held up well, and it is not even showing any signs of wear or tear. Why I like having this kind of setup is that I don't have to thread anything through my belt. I can just throw this on over top of whatever I have and I'm ready to go. So for my mag holsters, I have 2 Hsgi double-decker tacos, and these have a pistol holder here and then a rifle mag holder in the back. I don't usually run with rifle mags unless I'm in training, and then I can throw rifle mags in there, but generally I run it clean. I have 2 pistol mags. I don't have any on my armor, and then I'm running with mil-spec plastics Cobra Cuffs. These are really compact zip tie cuffs. I really like them, have had a lot of good luck with these, so I'd highly recommend you carry these. They fit really well into a rifle pouch, and they'll actually fit in the pistol pouch as well. I'm carrying a K-bar knife, nothing really special there. I can draw this with a cross draw with my main hand, or I can do my offhand and draw that as well from the belt. And that is actually attached in a slot that this battle belt has, and this is attached to the base belt itself. Next to that, I've got an Hsgi drop pouch. Not a whole lot to say about it. I like it, it works well. Then I carry a cat tourniquet here. This is an older North American Rescue Carrier. I don't think they even make these anymore. And then I have my Eagle IFAK next to that. And I have an entire video on this and what's inside. But essentially this is my blowout kit. So this is my ARS needle. It's got NPA, it's got compression bandages, a tourniquet, chest seal, things like that. So this kit is awesome. Next to it, I have my weapon system, which I'll talk about the weapon itself a little bit later in this video. The holster's Farland holster. This is a level 3 retention, so it's got the hood, and then underneath it's got a thumb trigger to draw the weapon. This is a quick locking system, so I can take this holster out pretty quickly and switch it out with my Glock holster if I so choose, if I'm having just a day where I'm out at the range shooting for myself and not training for the team. It's got a drop leg, and I did change the drop leg slightly. So this drop leg now, it used to be the 2-strap drop leg and it was down a little bit farther. I changed it to the single strap drop leg so it wasn't kind of as far down on my leg. It's not moving around when I'm running. I've really found this to be a huge improvement over the other one. And then next to that, I put my Raptor trauma shears on this belt just because it's easier access, and I didn't really like it on my vest because I'm not always wearing my vest for training, and I like to have the shears. And then I am carrying my sheriff's badge here just for identification if I don't have my armor or something that says sheriff on it. All right, moving on to the armor itself. This is a pretty big change from what you've seen previously. I used to have the pretty bulky Farland armor, and I've now switched to the First Spear Siege R optimized vest. This thing is awesome. I can't say enough great things about this vest. It's super lightweight, 3A armor at its base, can accept rifle plates, which I can put in. You've got quick release tube system here, so to take this off, it's here on the shoulders as well. All you have to do is pull out on this tab and down, and that will come loose. These are plastic, although you can go on YouTube and find a bunch of videos of people running these over with their trucks, and they hold up very well. So I really like this vest. It's super comfortable. On the front, I'm running it with my radio, which a lot of people were commenting, said this radio isn't meant for public safety. I don't know anything about radios. I just kind of use what they tell me to use. So I'll take you at your word for that. 2 rifle mag holsters, and I'm carrying the P-mags. I haven't really had any issues. I know some people have reliability issues with them, but I like them. On the side, I'm running it with the Operator IFAK from North American Rescue, and then I stocked it myself. In here, I'll show you. I've got a cat tourniquet, and this is an older generation. I think it's a Gen 6, so it's still a viable tourniquet, but it isn't a Gen 7. I've got compression bandages there, some bandages for wound packing here, an ARS needle. I usually have an MPA, but I actually used it, so I still need to restock that. And then in the back on this, it's got chest seals and some minor wound care items for use if we're in training or somebody needs some ibuprofen. And then I have another tourniquet right on the back. On the back of the vest, I'm not really carrying much. It just has another identification panel here. But like I said, this vest is a lifesaver. It's a lot lighter, and my shoulders really do not get fatigued like they did in the past. I might do a completely separate review of this vest in the future, but we'll have to see. And this is in the Ranger green color. Still using the same helmet. This is a ProTech Tactical 3A ballistic helmet. It does have mounts for night vision goggles, which we really don't use a whole lot. And then you can mount comm systems on the side. I'm usually just wearing earplugs, however. The system on the inside is a cam lock system, and I've found this helmet's very comfortable. But like anything, since it's a ballistic helmet, it is a little heavier, and your neck will get tired after using this after a while. All right, last but not least, I've got my gas mask. And I really don't know anything about gas masks other than I really like them if we're deploying gas teams. So I'm not even sure what brand this is, but this is what we're issued. It's pretty standard. And then we've got an extra canister on the side. I know once you plug this in, they're technically start degrading. So this is more for our training than anything else. I carry it in this kit, and this can actually attach directly to my battle belt and become a drop leg on the opposite side of my gun. I'll throw this on before a call out, but usually I won't have it on there because we really don't need this for training a ton. All right, so moving on to weapon systems. You can see that both these weapons have been made safe. There's no magazine, nothing in the chamber. For a handgun, I'm carrying the SIG P320. It's been a decent handgun for us. They had some issues when they first came out with reliability, as well as an issue if they were dropped like that, they would misfire. They've corrected those issues, and since then, we really haven't had any problems. The pistol itself is pretty stock. It does have tritium night sights on it. And then I have the Surefire X300U for a weapon light, which in my opinion is one of the best weapon lights on the market. So this is what I'm carrying for my handgun. All right, for a rifle, I'm using the Colt LE6920, and I have a complete other video detailing this rifle. So you can check that out if you're curious for more details on this. Nothing's really changed since then. I like to run this as is. So at the base, like I said, this is a Colt LE6920. It's got a 16-inch barrel. I've got the TLR2 on it, which is a light laser combo. It works pretty well. I have the pressure switch on top that I can activate it with my thumb. I've got Troy battle sights on it, which are all metal sights that can flip up, and I co-witness those with my Aimpoint Pro. So if this fails, I do have some backup iron sights. The Aimpoint Pro is a really nice optic. I love it. It's waterproof, shockproof. You know, they have stories of people having their houses burned down and the only thing that survives is their Aimpoint. So I'm a firm believer in these. It is just a red dot sight, but the batteries will last several years in the on position. So when I come on duty, I'll just turn that on and forget about it for the day and not have to worry about it at all. Magpul Furniture here, it's just a locking collapsible stock. And then the rail is a Fortis Rev rail. It is key mod, which I know a lot of people say these have a loosening problem, and I really haven't had an issue with it, but you know, if I had to buy this again, I'd probably buy the M-Lock version of it. All right, last but not least is my medical kit. So this is my med pack that I'm carrying into callouts. Generally speaking, I'll leave this at the front door if it's a small structure. You know, if it's a larger structure like a school, a dormitory or something like that, I will bring this in. This is the NAR4 aid bag. This thing is a lifesaver, literally. On the back, it does have some backpack straps that will come out, but while I store it, I just keep them in the back here to keep it a little bit more sleek. It stores a little bit easier. I do have an entire video on this, so I'm gonna open this up, show you really quick what's in it, but if you're really curious about the details, go check out that video. Have my minor wound care items in here, along with some hot packs and some ibuprofen and Tylenol, things like that, that, you know, teammates just need once in a while. A Sharpie on the front, and then moving into the inside of the pack. On the inside, it's got a bunch of different pouches that say what they are. In the airway pack, we've got like a BVM, some advanced airways in here, have tourniquets, things for wound packing, IV supplies in a bag of saline. Even though you're really not giving saline to trauma patients anymore, I have that more for dehydration issues. And obviously I can't carry whole blood in this pack because it would expire too quickly and I don't have a refrigerator on here. So just know that we're not really bolusing saline for trauma patients anymore. I'm carrying some Narcan nasal spray, some ARS needles, blood pressure cuff, stethoscope, medical tape here, chest seals, minor wound care items, and like a SAM splint, and then slings and swaths, and then a burn dressing, and then your emergency trauma dressings in the top. The nice thing is about this is that if you have to throw something to a teammate, all of these pouches come out, which means I can just hand this to somebody and they can go with it, or I can reconfigure this any way I want. I've honestly kept it the same as North American Rescue sent it because I really like this layout. That is all I have for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm going to link everything I talked about today down in the description below, so if you want to pick something up for yourself, you can find it there, and I'll link whatever discount codes I can find as well to save you a couple bucks if possible. If you have any questions about anything I talked about today, leave them in the comments down below, and also don't forget a couple individual items of kit that I talked about have separate videos earlier in this channel, so you can always go check those out. With that being said, I will see you next week.